Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Let's actually do this time. So yeah, we got two feuds up. We got Raven Island and Ghost Island. We're gonna do Raven Island first because Raven Island has Mercury. I was gonna do this last night, but I spent all my Letum and didn't have a charisma buff, so I decided to wait a little bit. I should have more than enough to buy a charisma now, so we're gonna do that. Buy it. Bada boom. Bada bee. Charismatated. Alright. Let's go ahead and swap all this out. And put that on. Alright, here we go. Before we do that, we turn all those on. And then, here we go. It's time to win. Of course, we get Pathfinder Nest Surge. Cunning the level 5, take advantage of the stats buffs, and then we smash as much prayer as possible. Looks like we should get level 17 before 10 pretty easily. Oh yeah. Whoa. Militia pants. I love my militia pants. All 100 pairs of them. Or however many I have at this point, I have no clue. I don't think we had stats before that, but that's fine. Or no, we did. I don't know. It's not a big deal. Why am I running backwards? And why am I running backwards? Please don't do that, good sir. Only forward. The Ring of the Defenders. That's done. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, I didn't mean to put everything in there, but here we are. I didn't mean to put all my points into that, but here we go. Hey, it actually changed the music from the boss fight to the next stage. It usually just continues playing the boss music. Or the next song. Interesting. Very interesting. Party at zone 40. Yeah, see? It's playing the boss music through 41. And then it swaps to 42. Isn't that weird? I feel like that's weird. But yeah, I'm really hoping they update this game soon with something interesting, because it's been over a month. They were updating like once a month. So I don't know, but I'm hoping they're working on something big and that this game hasn't been abandoned, because that would suck. I like this game. But it is what it is, I suppose. I don't know why I put a point in marks, because it doesn't really do anything. Everything dies in one hit. Everything dies in one hit anyway, what the hell? Gotta go back to get more ore. We definitely want to go back here because it is the Mercury zone. And all the ore that we mine is actual ore, which is why I'm at almost 40 trillion instead of like 25. Hopefully we get a big drop from the boss, but I probably won't. Because I never do. We're at level 6,000. That's crazy, dog. 2.8, 5.2. Yeah, that's whatever. I think the highest I've gotten is like 7.5. 7.05. Gotta do the same build again because it is big bow. Big bow one more time. I'm probably gonna have to go back to get the buff. Let me click the button 3 times to open the potion menu. Go all the way back. Of course, nothing in zone 2. 3 is Palace of Distortion, so there's no altars. Five's a prison, so there's no altars. There we go. Now we can move forward. The 19,410. It's like the only decent thing about missing the buff is we have a higher sticker to offer longer, but it really doesn't matter for the lower levels because like that boss drop was really low compared to the last one that I got at a lower secret all level. But that's just how it be sometimes. Wrath of Legogor. Air damage times 12. Why is it 12 now? It should be 10. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Sweet death. Oh yeah. So done with this area, we'll get off bows, so it'll start going a little bit faster. Unless the game freezes, of course. Then it doesn't matter. Hey, it don't matter what the hell happened. What does this one do? Lightning click! Oh, only lasts for 2 zones, I guess. Those druid buffs are pretty weak. Unfortunately. Making them only last for 2 zones is kind of dumb. There's the one they get the wolves, which also only lasts for 2 zones. It's just a little awkward. Maybe they'll change them in the future so they matter more. Oh, 22 mining before they go back, which is pretty good. But then again, I had to go back at the beginning too, so that's why I'm so far ahead. .6 weak. All right, now we get to go fast. I did all of this wrong. Everything is wrong. What's this about to do again? Nothing good. Nothing good. I already killed him. Fuck. Too slow. Oh well. Not a big deal. We'll just rerun all the other zones to make up for it. Hey, look, I got the lightning thing again. And it's gone. And it's gone. All right. So we wasted the first boss, but we were at level 20 prayer before the second boss, so the second boss was infinitely better, which is great. Very good, very good. Just the one that restores stats or something. I forget. Give me the fat nests. I love fat nests. It's almost time to go back and get some more ore. We're already going to be at 30, but we're pretty far ahead on this one as well. Don't mind, like, look at a bad boss route. Barely at the start of the second island. Yeah, I'm on the last set of feuds because they stop at a certain point, and I am powerful enough to just blow through them. But, yeah. Oh, is that why things are weird? Because my bow's still turned on? Oops. My bad. Let me fix that right now. Let me fix that one right now. Alright, there's no magic. Roy, do! Alright, fine. We won't do that. Alright, fine. We won't do that. We'll do the other thing. Actually, that doesn't matter on this one. That don't matter so much on this one. We got stats already. That's good. That's good. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get going. You just gotta get as many chests as you can. And then just trying to find a setup that works. Yeah, bow is pretty okay at the start. That's what I use to get to like island 25 or so. I use the exquisite bow with marks and powerful shot. And that got me pretty far, and then I swapped to using the axe that I'm using now, the Banshee's Cry, because it has Astral Weapon on it, which gives you damage based on how much spirit you have, which basically makes the game super easy depending on how much spirit you have, of course. Yeah, the exquisite bow is really good. I don't know which one you try to use, but if you have that, or like if you've done some, well, you're only on island 2, so probably not. The stamina one? Which one is the stamina one? What's it called? Chimera. I don't even know what Chimera does. What does Chimera do? Chimera, Magic Strike. Interesting. Exquisite Bow, Powerful Shot. Don't look at that number because you're not gonna have that number. Basically, when you kill something, the arrow will go through the enemy and hit the target behind it, and then tags puts a mark on it to where you do 5% increased damage per tag, and then it goes up to 50, I believe. So it's a really good multiplier if you are taking more than one shot to kill stuff, of course. Yeah, the shot that kills the enemy will go through and hit the next enemy. So if you're one-shotting stuff, it'll kill 2 enemies. I don't think it like continually pierces, but I could be wrong. So basically, if you get split, you shoot 10 arrows, and there's 10 guys, they'll all die. Basically. and each arrow will like continue to go through until they're all dead. I don't think it goes through more than one though, but I'm not sure. You'd have to test it out and see, because it's been a while since I've used that bow. Or was actually able to see what's going on, because even though I have the menu open, you can see in the background my character just doing stupid stuff. Flying through everything. This area is a little bit slower because I don't have my attack speed rune on. Because it's negated right now, unfortunately. The bones into clicking. Yeah, there's a lot to figure out with this game. Unfortunately, I've forgotten more lately, just because the game hasn't really changed at all in the last. Well, it's been over a month since the last patch, and that last patch didn't really add a lot, unfortunately. But yeah. Eventually, you'll get to a point where you unlock Feuds. I should level 23. Why? Why am I level 23? That's weird. Anyway, you unlock Feuds and start getting better gear. And then the game becomes fun. If you can do them, of course. They're I would imagine they're hard at the beginning. Big boss drop, 8.7. It's really good. Yeah, this game is really fun. Like you said, it's a lot to learn, and it's kind of difficult at first because you have to rely on the game giving you something decent at a chest, but as soon as you figure something out, it's not so bad. And you get all your weapon slots unlocked and everything else. Alright, where is my... Clicking the wrong button. Right there. Where's my sand tornadoes? Right there. Tornado range. Alright. Also, if you happen to get a staff, staffs are really good as well. Because I learned that apparently they're affected by shooting, just like bows. So you can get split and everything, and all that stuff works on staffs. Yeah. Split works on staff, the marks work on staff. The attack speed works, everything in shooting works. It doesn't say it anywhere that it's affected by shooting. The other thing is, it's still considered a two-handed melee weapon, so it's also affected by technique in close combat. It's pretty dumb. So not only can you get all this stuff from shooting, but you can also get technique in close combat and level up your techniques even more. But yeah, you pair that with like air arrows or lightning bolt, whatever you got, and it should be pretty decent. That's basically what I'm doing right now. The area I'm doing is it's runes and staffs only. It used to be runes only, but they changed it since they added the staffs. But it's also got the elemental modifier on it, so it only does only earth damage works. So like I have my earth staff on, which makes all of the magic skills turn to earth automatically. And then I have the sand tornado thing because most of the earth runes are awful. But most of the damage is coming from the staff, I'm pretty sure. Because runes are kind of weird in this game. Like, most of them aren't great. Unfortunately. Especially for earth. Most of the earth runes are terrible. But like the only decent ones that I have tried using are like air arrows, and the new Armageddon one seems pretty good. I've used that a little bit. But with the way that my rings of power are, I don't really take full advantage of other setups because I'm basically just set up to grind Mercury. All of my rings have mineral search, and it's all stuff to enhance the stat buff from Gorgors from the Prey Tree. Because as you can see right now, I have 1.7 million mining skill points, even though I have nowhere near that amount spent. Because the way my build works is I level up prayer and get as much sacred awe as I can until it's not efficient anymore. So I go to level 20. I have like 16 or 17. I have 17 sacred awe. What that does is it boosts the stat buff by, I think it's 50% per level. Yeah. And then that makes the stat buff super stupid. And then I wear the cleric gear because that gives you power of the three blessings, which modifies the stat buff even more. And then I have 2 rings that have the Gorgors percent for both the purple stats, which I'm guessing you don't have rings of power unlocked yet. I'm not sure. I don't remember when that unlocks. Or how you unlock it, because I was already pretty far into the game when they introduced it. You have one? Oh, okay. Well, so like the purple stats on the Glot rune, or the Glot ring, basically I have 2 of them that have the double Gorgors percent on the bottom for the purple stats, and yeah, that's pretty dumb. So my stat buff gives, I think it's like 140k stats with all the sacred awe levels, but then my amulet is 779% increased mining skill points. Yeah, for the buffs themselves, you just need 1 into each one, because any more after that, it doesn't really do anything. Like, it's only 3% more, which is negligible. Yeah, like from all of these zones, I'm getting anywhere from 3 to 8 quadrillion Mercury because of that amulet and how I have everything set up. The problem with my build is the way that they have like the stuff in the later islands set up. There's one where I don't know if you ran into it at all, because they changed all the modifiers on the areas, but you probably haven't seen much since you're only on island 2. But there's a modifier that makes it to where there's no blessings and no spirit, and those are like the 2 things that make my build work. So basically, I cannot do that area. And that's where I'm stuck on my current island because I got one of those modifiers, unfortunately. So to be able to make any progress, I would have to completely like redo my build and get a bunch of rings and make a whole new set of rings of power just to be able to progress. Yeah, I would imagine like at the start of the game they probably didn't change the areas too much. But as you progress, you'll see a lot of the newer modifiers. Some of them are okay, some of them aren't so bad. I basically said the same thing twice. And then some of them are terrible, like the one that I just described, especially for me personally. Oh, you're using Poeta? Yeah, Poeta's pretty good at the early game. But I would definitely suggest trying to find a build that doesn't rely on spirit, because there's a lot of stuff, especially in the feuds, and that the modifier just described to you where spirit is nullified. So trying to go like a staff and runes or some sort of bow or something. Like basically if you have an air staff, just try to get as much air damage. And then whatever else. Well, that's the thing, the feuds like require certain weapons for certain areas. So like the one I'm doing after this is like maces only or something. Maces and shields. So you have to have like specific weapons and specific builds to get through certain areas when you get feuds unlocked. Yeah. So you'll want to have like multiple things. But for like your main build, like I said, just try to stay away from spirit builds, because they're negated pretty quickly. I killed the boss too. That's probably fine though. I was running too fast. Using fairies, yeah. I did the same thing early on. I used fairies with the bow, and I had like Minstrel's hat on. Try to get more spirit. And eventually they released the feuds, so you get the better gear from feuds, and then that basically opens up a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, this area's only hammers and shields can be used as weapons. Hammers are maces. So like right here, since I'm stupid strong, I just use the XP the XP mace and the XP shield. It's a little slow at the start, but eventually we ramp up a good going here. Yeah, it still allows runes, so you can use attack speed and whatever else. Probably gonna have to go back here. I don't have the stab up yet. Gotta go all the way back. The other problem with my build is there's a lot of areas or zones that they've added that do not have altars. So like at the start here, depending on how it's set up, like this one, it's not too bad. Like this Palace of Distortions doesn't have altars. Prisons don't have altars, mines don't have altars. And then if you get the Druid Forest, it has the new hunting altar, but those are hit or miss for the most part. So there's a lot of downsides to the way that I build. But eventually, I'm gonna start buying rich chests and try to set up a new set of rings. And probably try to build a fire staff with Armageddon. Just have a ton of fire damage, and two-handed damage probably works for the staff. And I'm not entirely sure like what magic damage does. If that affects just like all elements, or if that's like specifically, because there's like the magic staff that's like arcane damage or whatever it is. So I don't know if that like only affects that or how it works, since it's not really explained anywhere, unfortunately. That's like one of the few things I never figured out. Yeah, I mean that's most of the game early on, where you're at is just trying things, seeing what works. Especially with the little bit of gear that you've been able to acquire. That was what I found interesting with the game too at that point, was just trying to get by. Because it's pretty challenging at first. Through a lot of bows, it's time to bow. Everybody bring their bows, it's bow time. Spire? Oh boy. What a great weapon that I have never used. Yeah, the auto loader is pretty slow. And I'm gaining like almost 100 levels every zone, so as you can see, my combat skill points are 40k unspent, which is ridiculous. But I am almost at level 5500 because I have so much XP modifier. Like, that's the other thing, like once you unlock Feuds, you get a lot of the stat buffs. Also try to save 620 Letum for when you get the Feuds, because you're going to want it for the charisma buff. Yeah, when you get to the end, unless it's a double possessed zone, you can go back and there will be another possess which will drop ore again. Unless it's if it's a double possessed zone, then it puts both of them together the first time, so you don't have to go back. Because if you go back on a double possessed, there's nothing there. Because somehow they made it so where like the game understands if you killed 2 of them or not, and that's the max amount that you can kill per zone is 2 possessed. So when you do the double possessed zone, it puts both of them there immediately, and if you try to go back, then it already knows that you killed 2 in that zone, so it won't spawn anymore. Play what? I've never heard of that game, so probably not. Alright, the options for... what is this? Raven Island? Raven Island Feud, we get 270% Mercury, 900% gold, 270% experience, 1170 elemental damage, 1170 critical damage, 900 gold, 900 gold. We are taking Mercury for obvious reasons. And then we are going straight to Ghost Island. So yeah, so this is the Ghost Island Feud, the first area. Spirit is prohibited. Elemental damage is ×5. It's terrible, but at the same time, it's all right. So here we have to level this up and do that, so that way we actually do some damage. We have no spirit. I gotta remember not to level up prayer. I just go straight into mining. My build's gonna auto level prayer because that's just what it's supposed to do. But I go straight into mining because there's no sacred awe, so the sacred awe costs spirit to activate, and so if you do not have that, you cannot activate it. So we just go straight into mining, get as much ore as possible. The ore is basically gonna be cut in like 1/5 of what I would usually get or something, which sucks, but that's just how it be. But with my amulet, I'm already at 200k mining points, so even though I'm not gonna get as much here, it's still worth leveling up just to get anything that I can out of it. And it's still worth going back at the end, because I'll still get enough to like be more than like a regular grind run. Because that's pretty much all I do in this game anymore, outside of Feuds, is just grind the highest double possessed area. Just to say I haven't released any new content. There's nothing for me to do. Especially since I'm stuck on the current island that I'm on, and pushing islands doesn't really do anything other than give higher rarity gear. Got a few months? Yeah, it'll take you a while. It took me quite a while to get to where I'm at. Well, I got a Banshee's Cry. Wow. Grind the what now? EOC. What does that mean? I'm not very smart. I apologize. Oh, end of content. Mystic Axe? I don't even remember what that does. Is that like Magic Strike or something? I'm curious, what does that do? It is Magic Strike and Starfall. Cool. Yeah, so usually on an area where I have Spirit and I can have Sacred Awe turned on, I'm at like 2 million mining points. And right now I'm at 750 without that. So I'm about halfway, or a little under halfway. But I'm about to go back right now. Let's see how many I actually get by the end. I'm at 800k. Yeah, it should be about a million. So right now I'm at 10.9 trillion, and I just went back to get more ore. Usually I'd be like 25. So that's how big of a difference Sacred Awe makes. I'm like 1.5 times less than what I would usually have. Yeah, that 270% that I just got as well. Yeah, I only got 1.8 quadrillion. And usually I get anywhere from 3.5 to the highest I've seen is like 8.5. But that 1.8 is still more than, like way more than I would get on a regular grind run, because I get like 140 to 150 trillion per grind run. So that's still like an hour, an hour's worth of grinding or something. It's still pretty good, even though it is pretty nerfed. This is another no runes area, which means I don't need to level that up. We already have the stat buff. So as you can see, the stat buff and having Spirit and Sacred Awe, I'm already at 918,000 mining points. I'm at 983.9 thousand. It makes a big difference, because where I got to at the end of the last run, I'm already there and I'm at zone 15. And that's mostly because my amulet has 779% mining on it. The crazy thing is you can have multiple of the same stat on items. So it's possible to have, I've seen up to 3 of the same stat on at least a ring. So I would imagine amulets can probably do the same thing. So it may be very possible to have an amulet that's like quad mining %, which would be stupid and great all at the same time. Stupid and great all at the same time. Because the way I do damage is mining, shooting, close combat, and defense all give stamina. And as you can see, I have 800 and 96 million stamina. So my main weapon that I do damage with has all of the stamina spheres. That gives you 1 damage per point of unused stamina, and you times that by 24 because I have 24 slots in my weapon. So I get 24% per unused point of stamina, and we're at 936 million right now. So you combine that with all 4 stats giving stamina, and then with the stat buff, you have to get each one a level 5 to take full advantage of it. So, like, mining's at 1.4 million right now, and then the other 3 are at 142.9k, and then close combat's got a little bit more than that because it's leveling it up, so I run faster. But yeah, I just hit 1 billion stamina. And that's how my build works, is all that stuff works together, and then I do 1 billion damage. Well, I do way more than 1 billion damage. But if there's no spirit, then none of that stuff works. And I basically have no stamina, and where I'm at in the game, like, it just, I can't do any damage and kill anything if there's no spirit or no blessings. It's pretty rough. And like I said, with the way that my rings of power are set up, they're set up to modify the stat buff as much as possible, set up to modify mineral search for grinding, and then I have like a bunch of spirit and stamina and total damage. I have some axe damage, some air damage, which is basically the element that I use. Which, by the way, this area is supposed to be, I think, water damage. And I didn't swap. I didn't swap to water, so I don't know what's going on or how I'm doing damage right now, but things are dying. But that's just how powerful I am. This area is swords and shields only. There isn't like a decent one-handed sword, so I usually just put on this big boy right here. It's called Abyss. It has an astral weapon on it, which is dumb, but that's just what it be. It's pretty dumb. Need to get some attack speed. There we go, hopefully that's enough. But yeah, basically, do what you're doing. Just keep using stamina for the most part, because like stamina or mana, or I guess you could use a health one too, but the health sphere is not as good, and it makes you run slower, so it's kind of eh. But basically, there's never going to be an area that is no mana or no stamina. It's always going to be no spirit, so try to stay away from spirit for your main build. Is like the advice that I would give right now. But stamina for sure, if you can find a way to build a lot of stamina without doing it how I'm doing it. Because obviously I'm relying on spirit to be able to have a ton of stamina. Which doesn't work sometimes. But I'm guessing the best thing to do is probably trying to get as much mana as possible, and then just level like a magic and shooting with the staff and use a rune. And get like some air click and whatever else. Well, I said air click, but magic click, whatever you want to call it. The thing that clicks. And then you get one wisp with that, so it automatically targets stuff. If it works, it works. Yep. No, I mean that's one of the cool things about this game is just trying all the different stuff and figuring out what works, what doesn't work with whatever you have. Like at this point I have like a bajillion of most items. So I can basically do whatever I want. But my problem is I need to get more rings. Because you get a lot of rings from Feuds and stuff, but Feuds and at Island like 40 something or 30 something. So the rarity of the items are only goes up to like 14 and 15, I think. And most of the items that I have equipped are like 17 or higher. Like my weapon right now is a 21 or a 22. And once you get into the 20s, the power gain from a rarity level is very high. So let's go back one more time. All right. But yeah, eventually I want to start buying rich chests and just get a bunch of high level rings and try to do something. Probably with staff. Staff or bow. Gotta go sleep. Oh, my stream times are all over the place. I typically stream this game when I get home from work at around like 11 or midnight PST. The only reason I'm streaming this right now is because I spent all my Letum and I didn't have the charisma buff, which increases the amount of the rewards that you get from here. So like this 207 would have only been like 80 something or 60 something, whatever it would be, because basically it multiplies it by 3 or whatever. And I spent all my Letum, so I didn't have enough to get the charisma buff because mine ran out, because it only lasts for a week. So I was like, I started streaming last night and then I did that and I was like, well, I'll do this in a few hours, goodbye. So this is what is this area? Is this the Earth Runes only? I thought, didn't I already do the Earth Runes only? Am I dumb? I am dumb. I don't know what that last zone was then. I think it was just runes only and I just used Earth because that's what I put on. Which is fine. Most certainly fine. I think the other one was just runes only. I wasn't paying attention. Because I'm very good at doing that. I almost got 18 before that boss, that's crazy. And it didn't go back at all. That's crazy, dog. A little bit more attack speed. Just making sure that's not turned on. Wow. Gotta get as much ore as I can, dude. So after this zone will be, or after this area, or location, whatever it's called, we'll be about halfway done with this feud. But after this one, it's all easy stuff. Mostly like gold blind areas, which are all easy. Easy game. I just went backwards again. Why did I do that? Wow, I got the lightning thing. Did it ever even use any lightning? I think the shitty thing about those is if you get the altar at the end of the Druid Forest, it only counts for 2 zones, and then you only get it for the next zone after that. So it just doesn't work. You literally get it for 1 zone if you get it right at the end. It's so dumb. Like, at least make it 5 or 10 zones, so it's at least useful. I'm running backwards. Oh, I got the crab thing. What does this do? All monsters in the zone turn into crabs. Okay. Obviously useful. That 5.9 is not bad. All right, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 left. This is hammers only again. Fire damage, wow! Can I have my stat buff, please? Gotta go back, there's no stat buff. Probably gonna have to go back again because there's no stab buff. Unfortunate. Well, the good news is I'm gonna be at 20 before 10. There we go. Terrible. All right. What does it do? Makes plants grow. Wow. It's raining. The sad part is I don't even know if that does anything because my herbalism's at 142,000. So I should already be getting a billion flowers on the ground anyway. Big crab. Dong, 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 dong. That's my favorite song in the whole game. Alright, we're finally almost done with this area. Took forever to get started because the game wouldn't give me the stat buff. Got about 30 minutes left, so it should be fine. The rest of these areas are just gonna go smoothly. Very smoothly. It's raining in the prison. That's weird. Turn that damn rain off. Apparently my experience is so high I'm at 15.9 key. That's stupid. I just hit level 6,000 again. Six isn't bad. Alright, got bow only. Put on the good old demiurgy. Oh, I didn't have 17, that sucks. That sucks. It was like right there. That's terrible. Lower attack speed, please. I probably need to redo my rune at some point and just go all attack speed. So mana cost doesn't really matter after I have stats.
Storm Warrior. Oh no, I made it rain again. Damn it. It's hard to tell what buff it is when I have the window open and it like stops running when it's right on top of it sometimes. Cursed Ring. Plus stink bait. Oh boy, I remember when I used to use stink baits a lot. Oh man. And then they nerfed it. Those were some times we were struggling. Gotta get ready to go back soon. Oh well. Oh well. I was thinking about something, I wasn't paying attention. That happens sometimes. Oh, whatever, that's fine. Alright, Gabe, where's the stat buff? I'm not gonna get one. Oh, I got it. I got it. I think I'm barely gonna miss 20.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What is this?
Oh. Friendly toads. All right, how many more do I have into this? I think it's just 2 more, right? Axes and no spirit. I'm almost done. I've gotten a lot of Mercury from doing both of these in a row. I was at 421 or something when I started. I'm at 493 now. So we'll be over 500, hopefully, with the last. Well, no, we're not going to be over 500 because, unless we get a really good drop here and a really good drop on the next one, we won't be over 500. Because the last one's no spirits, I'm not going to get anything there. Oh, I got the fat game. Oh, yeah.
The game is fat.
Alright, I gotta get ready to go back. Especially since I missed the last one here. I did it. Success. That was earth damage. We do earth damage sometimes. .2. Not bad, not bad. Now we're on axes only, which is very easy. Got stats already, that's good. That's very good. I wanted to look. But 89.35. I think I'm gonna go to 10,000. We'll start getting damage again. I think I'm gonna start getting critical damage and get that up. So we get like what, 230 experience from this one. So I have to do like 3 or 4 more feeds, I think. Because the other one, Raven Island's 270, this one's like 230. If we get Blueberry Wasteland, that's 300, I think. Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna be over 500 pretty easily. Did my fat game already run out? I think that one's only like 3 minutes long. The next one's like 10. Or maybe that one's only 3 as well. I don't remember. It doesn't really matter though. Not like I need that stuff. I don't need it, but I want it anyway. Yes, I do. Gotta get ready to go back soon, so we can get more ore. I think I'm dumping into gold value today, which is good. I almost missed that. I almost missed that. So I was like, I need to level up my stat buff, and then I saw that it hit the last zone. I was like, wait! Stat buff can wait! The stat buff can wait, dude! We were like 298, so we'll see how much we got on this one. So this one we don't level up spirit, and by spirit I mean prayer. Then we got 6 on that. That's really nice. That's when we're really gonna get like 2. Oh wait. Oh wait. Started doing it and then I realized what I was doing. I realized what I was doing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Open that up so we don't have to do it later. More toads! Alright! More toads. My bow is turned on. I just realized that. Oops. I think it's been turned on for like 4 areas now. Oops. My bad. Big lady. H-Stab, oh boy. Alright, go back one last time. Yeah, so I still got over 1 million with no sacred awe. That's crazy. 2.4, that's really good. Pretty good for no spirit. Alright, so here our options are 240 XP, 1035 elemental damage, 240 XP, 1035 elemental damage, 1035 critical damage, 636 total damage, 636 total damage, 240 XP, 240 XP. Hey, this day we will pick a good natty. Now we come up here. Go in here. Set up to grind. Today we are dumping in the gold value, currently at 261,595 times taken, 507.9 quad, and there's nothing in my store. So 261,500 quad will easily be over 300k, I would imagine. And the cost for this is gonna shoot through the roof. Why is my weapon damage going up? Oh, because my spirit's empty. That's why. I was like, why is my weapon damage going up? Gold value shouldn't make my weapon damage go up. What is happening right now? My spirit is at 0. So after this, we should be able to dump into base damage and total damage a few times before we have to dump into gold value or experience again. But it depends on how my feuds pop up in the future, or if they update the game. It's very possible they update the game any day now. Hopefully. Hopefully! Yeah, we're definitely getting 300k. So we're only halfway done. So it may be like 310, maybe 310. Just get a casual 50,000 times taken right now. Is this actually gonna get higher than XP? It might. It is, wow. So I won't have to take gold value for quite some time. For quite some time. It's over 100 trillion now. That's crazy, dog. We are at 60,000 times taken. Or was what, 2? Yeah, like almost 60,000 exactly. Was it 126? So I guess it's 55, not 60. That's pretty good. Then I guess with the rest of the stuff that I have, arms going off because I have to get ready to go. Right on time. Let's go total damage. Let's open all these boxes. Really wish they would figure out a way to make this not lag. Most of these chests are worthless for me currently because it's all just lower level stuff. Unfortunately, 20 rarity is not great for me anymore for most things. Thunderbird. Volcano. These Mercury amounts don't do anything. Banshee Strand, that's nice. Wow. Desert Scourge. Oh, not gonna see what's in that chest. Not gonna see what's in that chest. Alright, cool. Guess we'll take those for fun. We're set up to grind. Let me turn my potions off. And then let's go home. Anyway, that's gonna be it for now. It's gonna be grinding till the next feud pops up. We'll see what it is in 2.5 days. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye.